Good morning. An awesome commenter left a very helpful comment in regards to the Phineas information. Because I was asking about, I was like, what is this song about? Like, what are these lyrics about and stuff? And so apparently Lee was the old drummer for Phineas, because that's when I was like, is there an older drummer or something? Lee recorded all the drums for the Dark Flag album, which is the album that was from. And Isaiah is now the new drummer. So the other thing is that he provided a quote from an interview about the song. Hell Below is a dialogue between murdered North Korean civilians and guilty Kim Dynasty, which has committed democide 1,000 times over. It peers into the concentration camps that the higher-ups of North Korea deny the existence of, where thousands are murdered, starved, tortured, and exploited every year, the band said. This music video is part 1 of 2 of the story of Jayu, freedom in Korean, as he attempts to escape the grip of a North Korean concentration camp while freeing another prisoner along the way. Sean, the vocalist, does most of the lyric writing, he believes, and he also thinks Lee, the old drummer, had some input too, as does Dan, the guitarist. And as far as the guitars go, Dan writes the rhythm parts fairly simple since he's the only guitarist of the band and mainly plays the lead parts live. So that was all very helpful information. And then he said, as for the next song, you should listen to Strain by a band called Viridian. They're a new band from New Jersey. So let's have a listen. I don't see a bassist in the music video. At least not yet. And I don't hear it. Interesting. Oh, there's a bass. Now I hear a bass. It's not very full, though. I hear the tone. Oh, cool. Ooh, cool. Like old indie meets modern metal, like hardcore. Indie hardcore metal. This is sick. Drummers. The drums are sick. It's a lovely back and forth between the harsh vocals and the singer. Some very cool chord phrasing too. Nice. That's sick. MacBook Groove outro, maybe? It might not be an outro. Yeah, we still got some time.
Time moves on, and outcome won't be long till we know where we stand in this life. Time just moves on right again. Time moves along. Winds of person with every breath. People inside, like we don't know without you.
Little a field change. I love that. Let's switch to a swing field. There you go.
I feel the strain of the space you've left. You know, so lingers in my room is at your end of my trust. I feel the crisis, but not done now. Feels so longer, feels like
A little tempo slow down at the end. Nice. Cool. In memory of Danny Alcosser, I'm not sure how to pronounce his last name. Alcosser, maybe? That was really cool. Very good suggestion. I highly enjoyed that a lot. So I guess this song is in commemoration of a friend who passed away. I did catch in the music video that there is a person, like a picture of a person in there, so they kept on looking at it, and so I was thinking, this is obviously about somebody. I'm just going to review the lyrics really quick before I give the my overall analysis. I'm getting older every day, but the feeling remains the same. With the passing of these hours, I grow only in pain. So sad. Is that your hand on my chest? I feel your presence, but not your call. This house no longer feels like a home at all. This house no longer feels like a home at all. It sounds like this person could be a family member, like a brother. And all our families. You were my family. Okay, so maybe not actual brother, but still. May as well have been a brother. I heard the trickle of glass as it rode from down your face. Maybe a car crash? I felt the cold caress of the pavement as you rolled across it. Yeah, this sounds like a car crash. I saw your skin peel back in my dreams. Oof. Graphic. The wildfire of my regret burns strong, but time moves on and on without you. I feel the strain on this space you've left. Your ghost still lingers. So that's a really captivating song. I'll tackle what I don't like about it. 'Cause the bass end is like gone. It is hardly there. Even when I heard the bass, I heard bass in that one section in the beginning, and I was like, oh, I can hear it, cool. The actual bass end was hardly there. I could hardly feel it. If you guys haven't caught on by now, I'm hypercritical. It could have been the compression. There was something about the drum mix that felt slightly stale, but it was still, I mean, everything was audible. I could hear everything. I'm getting too lost in the weeds when it comes to what I didn't like, when there's so much that I did like. There's so much I liked about this song. I liked the overall structure, like, and the movement of the song just kept flowing. Like, even when they had like a brief break where there was like that MacBook groove, it picked back up for one more minute, and the whole vibe of the song felt very, very just forward moving, and I really enjoyed that. The guitar work and the vibe really reminds me of Death Cab for Cutie, which I love that band, especially old Death Cab. I didn't expect to hear something like that, especially with an intro that kind of reminded me of Volumes. And then you have the hardcore vocals, and then the kind of softer, but not soft, but just softer sung vocals. It's just still, the vibe is different. So you have like this on the ground presence of a hardcore vocalist, and then you have like this light and more somber feeling singer, and they dance back and forth a lot, and I really liked how much they went back and forth. It wasn't just the singer hitting the chorus part, it was the singer hitting a bunch of different parts. Like, it seemed like he chimed in for some screams too, so it's like, instead of like, oh, I'm the guitarist that sings the choruses, you know, he's the guitarist that sings throughout the whole song, you know, which is really cool. I love that. And I felt like the guitar parts were really, really elaborate. Like, it didn't feel too technical, but it was very much like all over the place, but in a good way, like in a really satisfying way. Like the way that he was building all the different chords, the way that everything was structured, was just very, very pleasant. I really liked it. I thought it was funny too because I couldn't hear the bass end very well. I noticed within 30 seconds I was like, there is no bassist, and so I'm wondering maybe for a live setting they might backtrack the bass or something, or maybe they're looking for a bassist or they didn't have one when they had to film this and they were just like, let's just do it with us, you know, and that's fine. That it totally works. It's fine. The song was still so strong that the mix I can kind of forget about. And that's the other thing too, is that the mix wasn't bad. The mix is not bad. I complain about the things that I don't hear, you know, or that I want to hear, or just little tweaks and modifications that I wish were there, you know, for a more satisfying overall mix. But the song was so strong that at this point, I really don't care about the mix. I just think the song is excellent. But hopefully these guys put more out there, because this was a really cool song. I love that it dove back and forth between different styles and feels and vibes, and I felt like the song and the vocals matched the message of the song and the emotional side of things. It just all flowed really well, and flow is very important to me. And it was different too. And so while it opened, I was like, oh, okay, it's gonna be kind of a Volumes-esque song. It wasn't. You know, it wasn't at all. Like, it just had that beginning vibe, but it went its own direction. And then at the end, when they threw in that little swing feel, that was so tasteful. That was so tasteful. It felt like icing on top of a cake, you know, like a delicious slice of cake. Everything's perfect. Everything has layers. You know, the way that they structured it, everything's so interesting and elaborate, and like nothing felt stale at any point. Nothing felt dry. And then at the end, just when I thought it was going to be, I'm going to hear the chorus one last time or something, they threw in that swing feel, and I was like, this is so cool. You know, this is so cool. I'm going to listen to that again after I'm done with this, because that was really, really cool. What a pleasant song. So that was Strain by a band called Viridian. The video was directed by Eric DiCarlo of Square Up Studios. And this whole song was recorded, mixed, and mastered by Matt Guglielmo. Guglielmo. I can't say names. Guglielmo. Guglielmo is what it looks like it says. And I realize that sounds ridiculous. It's probably like Guglielmo or something like that. I have no idea, but it looks like Guglielmo at Graphic Nature. Cool. Cool song. I don't know what else to say about it. I just think that was a really cool song. The tones were interesting. The vibes were interesting. I love the versatility of the entire, the dynamics of the song. They went all over the place in a very nice way. I wasn't bored once. I didn't feel like things were getting stale once. And it was very enjoyable to listen to. So, cool song, cool message, well written, well structured. Rad. Good job, guys. All right, on to the next one.